What is up, lads? Today we're going to talk about alcohol. You're probably drinking alcohol right now. Maybe you're not, but maybe you are. If you are, just watch this video. Is alcohol holding you back from your fitness goals? The short answer, yes, it is. But I believe there is a time for alcohol. You're on your self-improvement journey like I am. Same place I am, maybe a few steps behind me, maybe a few steps in front of me. Highly recommend you watch this video because I have actually stopped drinking alcohol completely. And I'm going to save alcohol for a few special occasions. But the more and more I've looked into alcohol, the more and more podcasts I've listened to on alcohol, and the more YouTubers who I look up to who have spoke about alcohol, I have come to the conclusion that alcohol is in fact limiting your fitness goals and really holding you back in terms of your fitness, okay? And this video is going to be focused on fitness, not overall kind of self-improvement, but I'm going to talk about when it is sort of, it's got a place essentially. So what does alcohol actually do to the body? Well, first of all, we need to understand that alcohol is a broad term for essentially drinks that contain ethanol, because the other alcohols are actually completely poisonous, will kill you if you drink them, like methanol and stuff. So we're talking about ethanol. And the liver, once ethanol gets into the liver, once you drank alcohol, liver metabolizes it through certain enzymes into a substance that I can't pronounce. Acetaldehyde, whatever it's called. And this substance is really toxic. It's actually carcinogenic as well. It's small enough that it can get into the cells and it can actually get into the nucleus of the cells and break down your DNA. So it's carcinogenic. It can actually cause cancer. Don't want to scare you guys. I don't want this video to be about me just scaring you, alcohol's really bad for you. 'Cause I would be a total hypocrite. I have drank alcohol before. I've been drinking alcohol for years. And I don't want to be a hypocrite and say, don't drink alcohol. Because I know alcohol, we all know alcohol's bad for us, right? But I just want to kind of make this video just to say, listen, if you've got some kind of strict fitness goals, or you wanted to get to a certain level of body fat, you wanted to show your abs, you wanted to get into that summer physique, you want to gain muscle, I just want to give you the knowledge, okay? So you can do with it what you will, but I'm just telling you what I know, right? And it metabolizes into this shit, which is toxic. This is poisonous, and it's actually the thing that causes hangovers. So it affects your memory in your brain, and it actually kills the brain cells, like the neurons in your brain. It actually kills them because it goes into the DNA, destroys the nucleus, and the cell dies, right? That's what causes the memory loss. So when you have a hangover and you wake up the next morning feeling terrible, and you can't even remember the thing from the night before. Well, that's because your liver's turned the ethanol into this thing, acetaldehyde, which is fucked up your brain and literally destroyed the cells responsible for creating memory. That's why you can't actually remember how you got home the night before. And then also, this is the kind of the secondary effect of alcohol, which is more fitness related, is the fact that there's quite a lot of calories in alcohol. And I actually didn't realize this. I thought that alcohol would have a low amount of calories. It was just bad for you, like toxic. But it actually has quite a high amount of calories. I've got the averages here, but the average pint of like beer, lager has over 100 calories. This is quite scary to me because I used to go out on nights out every weekend and probably have like 6 or 7 pints. That's 600 calories. Now, if you're eating normal meals up until that point in the day, you might just be at maintenance at the end of the day. And then when you actually go on that night out, you're then in a 600 calorie surplus for the day. And then also alcohol has a secondary effect. It's actually an appetite stimulant. So it makes you more hungry. It affects the hypothalamus in your brain, which tells your body that you're hungry, even though you're not. And that's when you actually go out and get those like dirty kebabs, the pizzas. So you can end the night on, let's say, a 300 to 1,000 calorie surplus, maybe higher. And I really just think this is why a lot of people struggle to lose weight. A lot of young guys, especially my age, really struggle to lose weight is because there's a huge drinking culture, especially if you're from the UK. The UK, as opposed to America, has like really big drinking culture. So every weekend, it's kind of well known that you just go out and drink beer. Like that's a really common thing. Something I've stopped doing like only recently, the last month actually, this week is the month mark for me for not drinking. That's the longest I've ever gone without drinking since I was 17. Whether you can believe that or not, that's genuinely the case. Since I was I'm 21 now. Since I was 17, the longest I've gone without drinking any alcohol is a month. And that's now. And I honestly feel great for it. But I just wanted to make this video just to kind of highlight my experience with that. And just just give you guys the raw kind of information, no bullshit. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. This is just what alcohol does. I've made videos on fat loss before, and I've always brought up the fact that alcohol is not helping for your fat loss. And the more I've looked into it, this is just kind of the reason why. It's just high in calories. It's a high calorie, very low nutrition drink. And there is alternatives. The conclusion of this quick little dive into alcohol is it ruining your fitness journey? Yes, it's ruining your fitness journey. If you're not seeing progress in the gym and you're drinking, whether you try to build muscle or lose fat or a bit of both, whatever it is, if you're drinking, I guarantee that's probably the reason why. If you cut out drinking, it's going to make everything so much easier to lose weight, to build muscle. So if you've currently got some fitness goals for 2023, I'd highly recommend cutting alcohol out of your diet. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you the knowledge, give you the information. You can do with it what you will. You know, you're perfectly capable of taking this information and doing with it what you will. So here's what I suggest you do. If you're anything like me, here's what I suggest you do. Set up your fitness goals firstly. So firstly, you want to decide, okay, what do I actually want to do? I want to build my muscle. I want to decrease my fat, bit of body recomposition. If you're doing that, if you set a 6-month goal to get to a certain level of body fat and to build a certain amount of muscle, to weigh a certain amount, in that 6-month period, just don't drink, okay? Save drinking for special occasions, okay? A birthday, a wedding maybe, celebrating some big win, you know, some job, maybe you've been promoted, maybe you've, you know, got to a certain milestone on your YouTube channel. You know, no doubt when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll probably go out for a drink to celebrate that, you know. Save it for those big things. It's going to feel way better. You're going to feel way more rewarding to drink when you've kind of done something beforehand that's, you know, been difficult to do, like a goal that you've achieved, that you've had for a long time. I'd say save alcohol until that point. And the main thing is really just stop drinking every weekend. Now, I was really bad for this. So pretty much every weekend since 17, I've drank alcohol. Pretty much every weekend. And that's not an exaggeration. I think there might have only been a handful of weekends where I haven't. But pretty much every weekend, I've drank alcohol and got drunk in some capacity, which has kind of slowed down recently. And, you know, if you're watching this and you're younger than me, if you're younger than 21, it's going to be difficult to not drink alcohol on the weekend, because if you have friends like my friends, that's pretty much all they do. You know, great guys, but it all revolves around what we're doing this weekend, and it's going out drinking. So when I go out with my mates now, I'm drinking pretty much either Diet Coke or lime and soda water. That's kind of two alternatives I can give to you. Kind of makes it look like you're drinking still in public, so you don't look like, you know, you're not just drinking water. But it means you're not getting that negative effect of the alcohol, both in terms of the toxicity of it and in terms of the calories from the alcohol as well. And I know a lot of the times some of the psychological kind of things about not drinking is the fact that it looks like you're not drinking. Well, if you visually kind of on the table look like you have a drink, then you're like more included. You know, people are asking you, oh, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? It's kind of just, you know, it looks like you're drinking vodka, like lemonade or something. And just one last quick thing as well. I don't know if you know this, but lager and beer contain phytoestrogens. Now, phytoestrogens are something that has been a hot topic recently, and they're contained in like plastics and all sorts of things, but they're quite high in lager and beer. And these are basically been proven to just lower testosterone. They mimic estrogen in the body. If you try to build muscle and lose fat, the more of this shit you've got in your body, the harder it's going to be. And lastly, like, listen, guys, don't take it from me. Take it from these two. If you don't know who these are, on the left, we've got Iman Gadzhi, and on the right, we've got Hamza. Neither of these two guys drink. They just drink on special occasions. And these are two guys that I look up to, both in great condition in terms of fitness. They're both got a great mindset, great mentality, and they're both very successful people and earn a lot of money. And when they do drink, and they do it on rare occasions. But yeah, take it from these guys. You know, if you've got self-improvement goals, if you've got fitness goals, whatever it may be, just letting you know that alcohol is probably not helping. And maybe it's just a lesson that I've learned recently, and I've stopped drinking, and I feel great for it. So there you go. That was it, guys. That was a quick video on alcohol. So hope you got some value out of it, and let me know in the comments if you did. And apart from that, guys, that's everything from me. Have a great rest of your day.